You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Howdy, partners. Welcome back.
Welcome back now. And Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
You know, I just thought about, why do you always
Some
announce
bitch pile of
Kevin?
monkey nuts.
Why do you always announce Kevin first? Why am I always the second? Oh, the third.
Alpha versus beta. That's how it works. It just feels natural to him.
Tradition. That's what it's all about.
Tradition.
Tradition.
All right.
So, all right, folks. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Charger Chat. Tons to talk about this episode. Great interviews lined up. All of you guys asking questions. But before we get into anything, we've got a huge announcement here, folks.
Okay,
let's see if we can.
Kyle, just I need you to do something for me real quick, okay?
What?
I'm
On the
gonna
count of
snap.
three.
Don't be scared. You're gonna
Okay.
be okay.
It's not
Okay?
going to hurt.
Okay.
1, 2. Wow! Look
Wow.
at you, coach.
Look at you.
Look
You're
at
looking.
what you got there.
Looking tight.
Dude, you got some swag. You brought
Wow.
all that
Buddy,
into existence
That
right
Charger
there.
Chat merch is coming.
It's coming, folks. Coming in hot and heavy. You're hearing it here first. We go to chargerchat.com. We are setting everything up right now. We're going to be selling. We're going to be selling lots of
Selling
stuff.
our ass out there.
Yeah,
We got
hoodies,
everything.
shirts, dog bowls, you name it. We're going to have it.
Not dog bowls yet,
I'm
but
just kidding. on
But
the
we'll
dog
have
bowls.
everything. Guy shirts, girl shirts, toddler
Stickers.
shirts, stickers, mugs, all the kinds of fun stuff. And it's we appreciate if you want to check it out and want to not only look really good, but feel good and support us. That helps
Look
us a
good,
lot because
feel good, play good. It's just
That's
the
right.
truth.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it's all about
So
here at the Charger Chat. So,
it would definitely help us out in like the cost of producing some of these shows. So if you
Right.
feel it in your heart and you want to look nice, do it.
make it happen. So it's not up just yet, but we will be announcing it on our social medias, on Twitter and everything like that. But go to chargerchat.com right now. Check out the website. Kevin's spent a lot of time putting this thing together. It looks amazing. And as soon as we've got the merch ready to go and put it in your hot little hands, it's going to happen. But as we all know, there's an extreme heat wave going across the country right now. I don't want Kyle to be sweating his balls off in that hoodie.
Hold
so
on.
let's do some
Hold
more
on.
magic. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, man.
I know.
Normal
We'll put it back
plug
on you.
again.
Maybe somewhere in the middle of the show, I'll just
Yeah.
randomly snap you back into existence.
Random magic me back into my studio.
Yeah. And if you're only listening to this, you should probably go
You're
check out
missing
what
out
just
on all
happened
the
on YouTube.
magic on YouTube. So, yeah, come check it out on YouTube. You can check out the sweet swag that we're going to be having, with a great logo that was designed by
Yeah,
Quest
awesome.
360 Design. Guy makes
Yeah,
some
big shout
awesome
out to him.
designs.
He's amazing.
So good. I love this logo so much. So, okay, enough about that. We've also got another big announcement this Friday episode, folks. We've got a sweet interview. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to really top Coach John live, but if anybody has the huevos to make that happen, I think it's Sean Lights Out Merriman.
I know.
I don't believe it.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't-
I'll
can't-
believe it when I see it.
I can't believe that it actually happened. And I,
I
got
still
to
think
meet like
Kevin's
one of my
lying to us. Yeah, I still
It-
think you're lying. I haven't seen it
It
yet. I don't believe
happened. It happened. One of my childhood heroes I'm like got to talk to. So it was insane. Great insight. Didn't hold back any punches.
I love it.
So you guys definitely check in on Friday because it's gonna be pretty nice.
It's going to be awesome, folks. Sean Lights Up Merriman this Friday. Set your calendars, folks. It's gonna be sweet. But looking at the news around the league, NFL.com published an article recently talking about the most complete NFL teams heading into the 2021 season, written by Mark Ross. and Los Angeles Chargers came in at number 4. And he called us a sneaky group loaded with talent, but they're often overlooked because of the team's subpar record, which stems from poor game management and decision-making, as well as injuries. I mean, shit, dude, tell us something we don't know.
That's the most backhanded bullshit compliment. That's frustrating.
Like they're really good, but they can't put it together.
You suck.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I appreciate it, but it's
the narrative every year that like our roster is loaded with talent, but then when it comes time to actually play, either somebody's hurt, and it's not even saying that like you guys suck at playing. It's like the puppet masters are not necessarily the best in the league.
Yeah.
So it's just, which is unfortunate because we don't really know that until after the fact, and it's like, wow, well that sucked. So.
Well, let's turn that coaching and management up to 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just turn that up, and then all the talent we have will just rise. The coaching. We're
just gonna shove everybody out or goodbye and bring in a whole new talent. It's fresh. It's like Subway. We're eating fresh now. And then he also talked about Justin Herbert, the 2020 Offensive Rookie of the Year, has the potential to become a top 5 quarterback if he continues to progress under his first-year Chargers offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi. Heading into the 2021 campaign, promising rookie receiver Josh Palmer could get plenty of action alongside veteran studs Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Wild Jared Cook, and third-round selection Trey McKitty aim to fill the void left by Hunter Henry's free agency departure. Getting Austin Eckler back healthy is huge. In the free agent additions to the offensive line, all-pro center Corey Linsley, tackle Matt Filer, should pay off in a big way this fall.
Just name vomited our whole roster.
Well, because our roster is full of talent.
He loves
These are
all of them.
talented individuals.
The Josh Palmer thing, that's the player I'm most excited to watch, I think.
Yeah.
When we drafted him, we had 2 like exciting draft picks, and then it was just kind of like, guy, like it's like talked about. He did not put up huge numbers in college. That doesn't mean he's not a good wide receiver. And that's why I'm so excited to see what he's able to do, because it's just kind of an unknown to me right now of what he's going to be. I hope he's just that breakout. I don't know, that fantasy wide receiver that's just going to kill it this year. The surprise that we are all hoping it to be, because if he's utilized one way in college and going to be utilized completely differently in the pros. Yeah, thrown to. I think that's going to be pretty
good quarterback play.
Right. And then he wrapped it up by talking about the defense. The Chargers might not have big names on defense outside of Joey Bosa and Derwin James, but this is a solid unit from top to bottom. Linval Joseph demands attention inside. Linebacker Kenneth Murray should build off his solid rookie campaign. And the secondary has the personnel to be special, even after losing Casey Hayward. I love the Asante Samuel Jr. pick in this year's draft, too, as he'll add even more depth to a unit that's tasked with containing Patrick Mahomes twice a year. Brandon Staley went from one uber-talented defense to another and only had to drive down the freeway to do it. I love it.
Yeah. It's a great article by Mark Ross over there, so you guys should definitely go check that out.
Yeah, those were just some of the nice little tidbits. But again, I mean, it's the narrative every year, man. We've got the players to make this happen. We just need the right coaching staff to get us there, to make the right play calls, manage the clock better than we did last year. And dude, we're in it. Like there's no reason why these guys shouldn't be.
What a weird year too, where we're talking more about our coaching staff than our actual players. Like everyone is so comfortable with our roster that we're number 4 in the league, and it's really, can the coaches coach? So I think they can. All accounts, they look really good, and everyone's really receiving them well. So I'm excited about this year, man. Just the more I think about it, the more time I have to think about it, because there's nothing going on right now. I just get really excited.
Right. We're still just a little under 2 months away from the first preseason game. So all we have to do is just sit here and wait and read articles and watch, mini camp film, and it's great. We love it so much. And then, as everybody saw, we had Chris Hayre on the last episode of Charger Chat. He rolls, by the way. He is awesome. Such a great dude. Posted an article recently on Chargers.com how Justin Herbert has improved his game entering 2021. Some of the highlights from the article: not only is quarterback Justin Herbert learning a new offense this offseason, he's doing so while practicing against a puzzling defense. So I think that's interesting.
Definitely going to push him harder than probably he was last year with the, you're playing against Gus's defense.
Playing against cover 3 the whole day?
Right.
Yeah. Like, okay, I know what's going to be open.
You're not
right
challenging
when we walk
him.
Up there.
We'll throw a couple blitzes at you or something like that.
We're going to let Melvin
one at
Ingram
practice.
stand up. He's not going to be in a 3-point. You better watch out.
You better watch out.
Yeah.
Head coach Brandon Staley spoke after last week's minicamp about the process they've gone through together this offseason. We didn't want to take it easy on him, referring to Justin Herbert. We wanted to make it right for him. Those are two different things. Justin is such a hard worker. When you see him out on the practice field, you can see all of that hard work really shine. I thought that he had a really solid 2 days here. So great praise from the coach. You love to hear it.
I like it.
That's cool. We don't want to make it easy on him. We want to make it right for him.
Which that's how it should be.
Like,
you
you
don't
hard
get
as shit.
Interesting quote. Yeah.
You don't get better by playing easy. You get better by playing difficult, playing challenging, and that's how they're treating it. So
cool.
I love to hear it. Staley said that Herbert's command and comfortability both in and out of the huddle were among the things that stood out over 2.5 weeks of OTAs and minicamp. We want to see him comfortable.
Agreed.
Absolutely. What he and I talked about is that most of the things in life that are worth it, you really have to fight for, Staley said. It's not just going to happen right away.
I beg to differ.
Well,
Justin Herbert just didn't practice, didn't throw to anyone. Offensive rookie of the year. Breaks every record in the book. He's probably Staley, coach, maybe that's true for you.
Counterpoint.
For me, yeah. It kind of just happens.
Well, he had to be ready for that situation. So he had to work at it. He had to make it happen. But I think it's good that you at least know that he has that mindset. You know that even though he did end up having to play, he was prepared to sit that whole time and not necessarily have it be an issue, like just to constantly be ready to go. Like whenever that needle hits, I'm in. I'm ready to go. So
it's really kind of cool to see, like, they basically handed him the keys to the Ferrari officially. Like, this is your team. These are your keys. And he knows how to drive it. It's really exciting to kind of see what he's doing right now. And the fact that our last coach said he's a backup for a reason. And our new coach saying, like, this guy can do it in his sleep pretty much. So it's kind of awesome to hear that difference.
Yeah. And then going out of the article, there was a quote from Herbert. Herbert said there's a ton he's focused on improving, from drops in footwork to having a better feel in the pocket. In addition to mastering the offensive playbook, Herbert pointed to defensive recognition as another element of the game he's working to get better at.
And that's what everyone said. Like, Mahomes needed time to, like, really understand football. Like, he didn't fully understand what was going on a lot. So, like, the fact that he's being forced into this position where he not only has to understand football, but he has to try and understand this quirky, crazy defense that shows one thing, does another, so I think it's going to be good for him.
Yeah, I think they're setting him up to be in that Phillip Rivers type situation, to be able to recognize those schemes for the defense out there on the field, and to make those adjustments on the line from whatever it is that he's seeing. So I couldn't be more excited. If anybody can handle it, Justin Herbert seems to be the guy to make that happen. So really looking forward to it. But now, folks, it's time to look on over to the one, the only Coach Kyle the Coach Duggan. What's going on in his corner? Here we go.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
All comes down to today.
You take this helmet and you put it right in his numbers, okay? I want to see nothing but snot bubbles in his nose.
A lot of people want to blame coaches for a lot of things.
Nobody puts coaches
trade up.
in his
And
corner.
we shut them down because we can't.
Because I believed in you.
And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be our style.
Let's do it.
All right, folks, Coach's Corner coming in hot. We've reached into the bag of questions yet again, and we've pulled out one from Chris M. Chris M., congratulations. Your question is the one that makes it on over to Coach's Corner. Little golf clap for you.
Golf clap.
And you've got your question. It goes something like this.
Hey, Coach, I can't think of anything in football that pisses me off more than the prefit defense. The only thing it seems to prevent is winning the game. Why do so many coaches consistently use this approach? K9, love you, bye. Ooh, yeah.
I like the twist with the K9.
Right,
love
K9.
you, bye.
Everybody knows Kenneth Murray switched his number to 9 because he was K9 in college. It's going to be K9 in his sophomore season. So K9, love you, bye. Love it. All right. So prevent defense. Why does it suck so hard?
Yeah. So, this is one of those ongoing, I think, like internal battles that I go through as well when I'm watching a game, because there's just so many things that it's frustrating, but like I understand why it's happening. So especially with our previous regime, we were conservative to begin with. When you're going down the end to win a football game, there's two things that you're trying to do. You're trying to continue to score points, but you also want that clock just running as fast as you can, right? You want the clock to move. You don't want quick scores from the offense. So it's just like the conservative idea that we're just going to switch our scheme, switch our shift so that they can't score quick. And that's really it. And why everyone does it, because big plays, I think from a coach's perspective, I don't want to be the reason why the game is lost. And when you stay in man-to-man or you stay blitzing, you stay aggressive, you will open yourself up in different areas of the field, down the field for big plays. So there's a give and take there. So if you want to continue to be aggressive and play what you're playing, then you're going to give up stuff down the field. And that's when a team is going to be more aggressive, right? An offensive team, when they're down, getting towards the end of the game, they're going to start taking shots deep. So it's hard to watch, because when somebody quote unquote prevent, what does that even mean? One, it might mean that your zones back up a little bit. You may run a little bit slightly different coverages. But really all that you're saying is you're not going to blitz a ton and you're not going to get beat deep over the top. I think sometimes the fans, myself included, were quick to jump on and say, oh, we're in prevent. Why are we doing this? When that's not always the case. Like Gus probably ran the cover 3 the whole game. But at the end of the game, when a team is starting to get in rhythm, they're making plays, you all of a sudden jump to, why are we in prevent? I don't think teams are running a significant amount of prevent until it's last 2 minutes. You're just trying to keep them from those gigantic plays. But yeah, it's a hard question to answer, because I think it all goes back to not wanting to blow it with a big play. But it is so frustrating to watch the offense just complete 10 to 12 yard passes all the way down the field. And in your mind, you're like, well, we haven't been giving this up all game. Why are we switching what we're doing? Because if you did take away those 10 to 12 yard hitches, then you're opening up for 15 to 20 to 25 yard deep balls. So it really, I think, well, a lot of it comes down to how much you trust your players. If you trust them not to get beat deep, if you trust them to have the knowledge to not get beat on a double move, then you can stay aggressive. But that's just not been what we do, and really what the NFL does in a lot of cases. All right, well, there you go, Chris M. Kyle broke it down for you. Prevent defense. Yeah, it sucks as a fan, but there's a reason behind it. It sucks losing. It sucks if you get beat. Losing. Yeah, it would get just as mad if we stayed aggressive and got beat over the top for a big play and they score right away. So it just sucks losing. And sometimes it's easy to blame it on we went into prevent. Right. Blame it on a soft
it feels
defense.
So weird I just don't like how it feels so weird at the end when you're like, God, we got to lock this down. We got to finish this game up, and everyone's backing the up. It just sucks to watch. It really stresses me out. So I'm on the same page with you, Chris M. I cannot stand it, but I see why it might be necessary. Right. Because I know you would be livid if they hit a deep ball over the top of us because we were blitzing. Right. You would be just as pissed. Right. Yeah, there's a fine line to being too much in prevent and too aggressive. Right. And it always just felt like we were on the other side of that fine line. We aired to I hate it too when they prevent into field goal range. Like they're still playing prevent when they get into field goal range and we're only up by 2. Like that's what I lose my mind. Well, here's my question to you: what does that mean? Prevent? What do you when you're watching a game? They're not letting anyone. They're not letting anyone get behind them. That's what that means to me. but they're not being aggressive. They're not trying to.
They're giving up the short.
You're backing up
gains.
into field goal range, is what I'm saying. Is like when you see the secondary back up into that field goal range, I lose my mind when we're only up by 2. And that seems to happen a lot.
But that's just our defense. That's just what we did in general.
It sucks. I can't wait to have the new one.
It's time. It's time for a new coat of paint on this defense, and we're excited to see what the color
is. Boy up. Detail this bad boy and get it out there.
Yeah. Well, we've got nothing but exciting things to look forward to this next season, and the defense is certainly going to be one that should almost look entirely different comparatively to all the previous years that we've had Gus Bradley. So exciting to see. Thank you again, Chris M., for asking the question. But now it's time to look on over to Fan Focus. Here we go.
All right, guys, we're here with another Fan Focus, and we're super lucky to have Terrell Cooper from Minnesota. How did you become a Charger fan?
There's just a spirit about California that I really love that, I feel like is something that was always within me, even when I was growing up within Minnesota. Like there was always a draw to being out here. So I made my way back over here, moved in with some people, and I stayed in San Diego. And, that's around the time when, I was actually I wanted to make a change, like it was a kind of a clean sweep for me. Like, I stayed in Minnesota for so many years. I was actually a Vikings fan around that time, but, it was like perfect timing around that because like the last season I was a Vikings fan is when Brett Favre made his way over to the Vikings. So to me, I was kind of like my way of like making it out for myself. I was like, I'm going to be leaving to San Diego and, the Vikings betrayed me. So I'm done with the Vikings. And so as I made my way down here to San Diego, I just wanted to embody the city, and there's, I guess we're going to talk about that some more, but, San Diego fans here, like, it's like all around the place. And I wanted to be a part of that. So I changed it up, being like a Chargers fan, like my love for just football and my love for, just the community of football in general has just grown substantially. Just being out here and, just talking trash with like Raiders fans and, like getting to know like the other, cause like they're all over the place here in San Diego.
Sure.
So, like getting to know, just like the Chargers fans, like the history, every day, even after the Chargers have been gone here, like I'm still getting a little bit of history from just people, just random people that come up. Like the other day I talked to somebody and he was telling me that his father was one of the people that helped get the Chargers down here in the first place.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So it's, just really heartwarming stuff like that. And I have a greater appreciation for football as well as the Chargers. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, like, this has been a really fun offseason. What has been your favorite part? There's been a lot of things. What's been your favorite part?
No injuries. That's been like my favorite part.
So far. You're very, very short. Yeah, no injuries.
Yeah. Actually, what? The best thing, that's a part of it. But like, I think one of the best things, like I keep thinking about, I keep getting this reminder every time, you listen to Brandon Staley. It's nice to have like the moves that we've made, but all along it's been like, Tom Telesco making like these little pinpoint moves of like superstars. And you think like, man, like we got all this crazy talent. And it's like, what's going on? Like what's holding us back? And it's, it feels like a huge change has been coming along. No disrespect to Anthony Lynn, but it's like the team that we had last year wasn't his team. Like he wanted the Tyrod Taylor team.
Yeah.
He wanted the, short passes, let's not, take risk and, just let the defense handle it. And it was like, I want to say it was set up for failure, but it definitely wasn't working that well against them because, you have such a defensive type of scheme where, one of our best players, Derwin James is out for the whole year. So it's like, oh, like that's out the window. And, all of a sudden it's like, it's all on Joey Bosa and it's all on like, the guys that we still have left because like somebody's going down one week or another. So with Brandon Staley, like it's been a great thing to hear from him, hear him talking every time because, it sounds like he's one of the fans. Like, he talks about, getting people that know how to play multiple positions, getting people that like building our depth, getting people that have that good character. I know like Tom Telesco, like they're really big on that. And it's, it's like we got a squad now. And it's like, I feel like, when you guys like listening to you guys talk about the players, like I'm like, it almost sounds like, I don't know what position, like who's playing what position, because like we're all so interchangeable. Like, you know, they're talking about Derwin James playing corner. So it's exciting to see that, you know, it's not going to be just this thing. I think Chris Harris actually said it in one of his interviews with the Charger Unleashed podcast. You know, the difference between like the defense last year and the defense this year is it's going to be that it's not so much around the players, but around the scheme and, you know, players just carrying out those ideals, you know, a lot more detailed. You know, I'm kind of worried that, you know, we're going to be, you know, being more aggressive with like more blitzes because, you know, Patrick Mahomes, like that's how he gets his bread and butter. But, you know, I'm sure they'll make it work. We got the number one, you know, defensive coach from last year. So
my last thing for you, we kind of want to throw in like a really fun question. What's your pre-game routine? Like tailgating, like what do you do? Do you have like a ritual of things you do before a Charger game?
I always got to go to the bar. I always got to like make sure I'm around like other Chargers fans. You know, the very few that there are, like they always pop up during the games, you know?
Yeah.
But just, you know, make sure I got the right kind of gear on, you know, like every time there's a Raiders game, I'm always going to put on some like old school, like LaDainian Tomlinson get up, you know, like players that got good juju against, you know, the team.
Against the Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, maybe I'm going to have to get a Keenan Allen jersey because, you know, like, you know, we got the Broncos coming up. The closest thing I got is hopefully like I'm planning on trying to make a game, hopefully in Denver. I want to make it one home game and one away game.
Nice.
Check this out. I was on my way to the gym and I saw this. I literally had to pull the hardest I've ever seen. Look at this, man.
Oh, that's an old school leather jacket. I love it.
Yeah. And I stopped and like I pulled over and I got out the car. Like, have you ever seen Superbad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pull out. I had to just like dip off like those guys when they saw that girl and she had like
catch a glimpse of those warlocks.
Yeah. They were like, they pulled her out of the corner. I just dipped like that, like the fastest speed walk you could ever imagine just for this. And the guy, he gave it to me. It was $40, and you know, I feel like it was a message that I need to go to a cold game. So I think I'm gonna have to take this down to Colorado. And I'm so excited for this season. Honestly, like you can just tell, and like the people I talk to, you can just tell within like the things they say that they're afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like they're afraid. They know that. I mean, a lot of people, they don't evaluate how the games really went for us. Like they think that the Chiefs beat us. Like they're just infinitely better than us. And it's like we played the Chiefs, we played the Buccaneers to the T, we played the Saints to the T. Like all these teams that made it all the way down to the final thing. Like even the Bills, like, you know, it was unfortunate we couldn't get it done, but it's like we had them on the ropes, and it's, you know, that's without Derwin James, and that's without, you know, most of the starters because they were injured, you know, like Balaga and things like that. So we've only gotten better on defense with like Asante Samuel and, you know, hopefully Chris Rump. I like his energy. I think he needs to just be a starter just for his energy alone. At least, you know, do something like give him a coaching job. Just make sure he's talking to the players. But, you know, and then like Kenneth Murray, he's got the number 9 again. Like, let's, you know, it's going to be a completely new team, but it's going to be even better. And that's with the returning players. So, I'm excited for that, and I might have to just wear this jacket for my pregame routine next year, just cause. Or no, for this season, just cause.
I love it, dude. I love it. It's meant to be. Dude, thank you so much for your time, Terrell. It was so awesome meeting you, and definitely we got to keep in touch and let us know what home game you're going to.
Always. My idea. I got some people that are talking trash to me, some Steelers fans, so I might have to make my way down there for that one.
Sounds like a good one to go to, my man. So
or the Vikings, one of the two.
That one too. Yeah, I'm gonna be at that one too. So you let us know.
All right,
brother. Thank you so much for your time. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Terrell, my man, thank you so much,
buddy.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like just him finding that jacket on the side of the road and being like, "All right,
yeah, that's sweet."
Pull over and grab the jacket. Like I just love that.
Yeah, that's a cool story, dude. Like. And awesome that you're in San Diego, dude. We can't wait to see you at the next game. Hopefully you'll be making that opening game because we'd love to see you, give you a high five at the very least.
He said that the Vikings make sense for him. Like that's a game that makes a lot of sense because he wants to do one home, one away.
Sure.
So the Vikings make sense. You should probably do that one. Beat up on your old team.
At the very least, you'll be able to see Hug and Duggan at the Vikings game for sure. That's right. So Love it. All right. Well, now it's time to turn over to another old favorite of ours, the one, the only, the Craig Experience.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh,
Craig Experience.
hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on. That's right, boys. Mr. Vacay 2021 is back in the building. Back in Texas, back at home. This week. But best believe it ain't over yet, man. We're getting the hell out of here again. This time it's going to be an adult vacay. No kids, just my wife and I. No cabins. No possibility of homicidal maniacs wielding machetes. No Yogi or Boo Boo. Hell, no Rocky or Bullwinkle. No woodland creatures. We are off of that for the rest of the summer. And, after being stuck in the crib for a year and a half, we've had enough. We're getting out this summer. And with that being said, looking forward to that as well. So enough about me. CC gang. Big old salutes into the rest of the Boat fam. What is up? It's your guy Craig in Texas with another edition of the Craig Experience. And yeah, off-season doldrums have kind of sort of set in, but the good thing is there's typically always something out there to talk about, and I want to touch on a couple topics, starting off with the presser from my guy Joey Bosa. And man, I understand dry humor. It's like a second language to me. And Joey, we all know, is not the most excitable person. But what I did notice is the little gleam in his eye. He was talking about Brandon Staley and this defense. And not just this defense and Coach Staley, but the coaching staff in general. He seems really bought in. And again, you got to look in the eyes. Peek into the soul tells you the truth. And Joey looks like he's raring to go. And it looks like he'll do whatever the hell they ask him to. And if you get a guy like that brought in, then that's saying something, because cats of the Bosa ilk, they can read through the BS. And if you don't know what you're doing or what you're talking about, then, they'll tune you out. They'll do what they have to do, but, and they'll put on a good face for the cameras and for the media. But deep down, they know what's up. So for this coaching staff to come in and make an impression on that dude is saying something. But outside of just that, seems like trust is the operative term. And, that's saying something. Staley's only been around a couple months, and it seems like he's already garnered that. So something to be super happy about and look forward to. And, moving into next year is going to be a big deal because everybody has to buy in. And if this team's going to make any big moves and set the league on fire, then it starts up top. Next up, the news of David DeCastro, the former Pittsburgh Steeler. Couple things, there's some conflicting reports, but I'm seeing that it was a non-injury related release, which kind of contradicts the stories about him dealing with an ankle injury, I believe, right now. And, whatever the case may be, the reason why I think the tire should be kicked on David is because, how many times do you have 3-time All-Pros who've only given up 2 sacks over the last 4 years hit the market that you can probably get at a very affordable price? And worst case scenario, the dude doesn't work out, then the person that you were probably planning to trot out there as your starter is still there. So he goes from being quality depth back to the starter as you originally planned. But isn't the goal here to protect and build a fence around your superstar year 2 QB? I think so. It should be. And that's one thing this team's always lacked up front, is quality depth. It's been quite some time since that's been available. And here's another opportunity to add to it. Whereas if we're talking about him possibly wanting to retire, which kind of popped up as well, that's something that you got to question, because typically when pros start talking about retirement, then that means one foot's out the door. So you can't be too sure whether or not they're going to be around for the entire year or entirety of whatever sort of contract you sign them to. But again, if it doesn't work out, you still got O'Day, and you still have Brandon Hymus. So makes sense to me, but Tommy do what Tommy do. So we'll see what happens. Lastly, question for you fellas. I've been thinking, you know how all the pundits out there seem to be flip-floppy, wish-washy, depending on where you look, whether it be PFF, Good Morning Football, one day it seems like hate, next day it's all love. And then, I mean, hell, sometimes within the same day, it could be both. Here's my question regarding just kind of that. What do you think happens next year that puts the Chargers squarely in the middle of the NFL talk, where it becomes pretty much undeniable? What's the thing that you think happens that they do, clearly, hopefully on the positive side of things, that makes it to where if anything negative is being said, then it's just clearly hate? I think, hot take, we sweep the Chiefs. That's what I'm rolling with. I don't think it gets much more shocking than that. I mean, you never can tell with division rivals, but if they beat Patrick Mahomes twice, I'd say they're probably going to be in the driver's seat through the playoffs and possibly onto a title run. Now, look, I'm realistic, so I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to say this automatic trip to the big game, but that's my prediction. I think they sweep the Chiefs. I'm going to be praying, keeping my fingers, toes, eyes, everything crossed. It could happen. I believe it. Guys, tell me what you think. What's the thing that you think happens that makes it undeniable? Anyways, per usual, Bowl Ganger Don't Bang, I'm about to go eat some barbecue and get ready for my next vacay. Okay, love you, bye.
Craig,
yeah.
you vacation taking son of a gun. Like, I am so jealous of every trip that you take, man. But
Shut up, Kevin. You've been in Europe for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm on work trip. It's not quite vacation.
I'm working
I wish
front
I had
of
my
a pool
family
in
with me. That's what I want.
Oceanside,
I'm working. Oh, I'm in Croatia. At a villa.
True.
I hate the Eiffel Tower. Meh.
I actually don't like Paris very much, so there's that.
All right. Well, we just lost all of our French listeners. So
sorry, if there's
that.
some out there, I'm happy to be proven wrong later, but hasn't been my favorite place.
We know we've got listeners all over the world, but Craig, thank you for showing up again, and glad your home is doing okay, even though you're spending so much time away from it. You brought up some great points, talking about Bosa with the little gleam in his eye saying something. I couldn't agree more with that. And boy, David DeCastro possibly coming. I mean, it's a gamble. It's a risk. If we can get him for the right money, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But
that would solidify your kind of depth at that position. Like, who do you start in that situation? Even if he is slightly hurt at the beginning of the year.
It makes it fun. The guys have to play. They got to go win the spot.
Competition. Exactly.
And if they don't win the spot, look at the depth you now have. Right?
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
We don't know.
Never
I don't know. I thought Julio Jones was a slam dunk, but apparently not. So
right. But
I wouldn't be mad at it.
We'll still see. Yeah, wouldn't be mad at it.
No.
But as far as your question about what would put the Chargers into that spot of like finally being, recognized as a talented team, and the Chiefs, sweeping the Chiefs, that certainly makes sense. That would certainly put us in the talks. But Kevin's got an opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think for me, it's starting quick, because the Chargers have never started quickly. So if you start quick and you're 3-0, that means you beat Washington, you beat the Cowboys, and you beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So if you start quick, your defense holds them to not a lot of points, and Herbert goes off for those first 3 games. It's all about like that popularity contest. And as soon as somebody has a take, everyone likes to jump on that take. So if you get that going early enough, that will be cemented, and that will carry you through the season. Whether you have a couple up or down games, you start 3-0 and you do it well. I think that changes the narrative and people back off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you have to win, obviously, but I think there's I think the primetime games we have to win. We have a Monday night, a Thursday night, and a Sunday night game. We have to win those well, because those are what people watch of the Chargers. It's not very often that you're going to get someone just watching us to watch our team.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to win those primetime games, and our stadium has to be full of Charger fans.
Right.
I think because the media is going to give to people what they want. If there's not a huge following and proven fan base to be there, and you see it on TV and the media can be around it, and like when you have those primetime games, you look down on the stadium, it's full of Charger fans. that's the kind of stuff that like builds credibility to your team and gets you noticed, especially being in LA. There's no reason for us to be that little darling, doesn't get the attention anymore, being in LA, winning football games and having a fan base showing up. So obviously you got to win, but I think the primetime games this year are going to be big for us.
Big time. I think the thing that does it for us to get us into those good graces is to stop losing these games by one score. We need to win some of these games by two scores at least. That at least puts that buffer between like they may be only won by one touchdown to be like,
it's not the same
none
thing.
of this. Yeah, we got to win by like 2 scores. We got to cream these guys. We got to make sure that these guys have no chance of coming back to win any of these games. So I think if that happens,
prevent, and Staley still does this thing. No prevents.
No prevent, but we got to win by more than 2 scores in these games, and I think that puts us on the right side because almost every game that we had, whether we won or lost, was by like 1 score.
It was stressful every game.
It was extremely stressful. I want some comfortable wins. I want some wins that were like, okay, like it's the 4th quarter, we're up by 4 scores. I'm good. I feel fine.
Yeah.
Let's just ride this 4th quarter out and call it a day. So that's what I think needs to happen. But great question, Craig. Thank you for asking it. Yeah. Really appreciate it. Good luck on your next vacation, wherever that may be, wherever the wind may take you. But now it's time to look on over to Ask Bolt Fam. Bunch of great questions from you guys this week. We started off with our old favorite, Okie Doggy.
Okie Doggy.
Who asked the question? Question time, senores. Looking into the division, what are some bad decisions made by those respective teams, and what moves have they made that you think they actually benefited? We would like to think we are the only team that got better, but that is just inconceivable. I'll be leaving now, but before I do, send a message to Denver. It goes something like this. F*** the donkeys. And if they ask who sent it, tell them that my name is Inigo Montoya. They killed my father, and they better prepare to die along with the rest of the division.
Princess Bride call out, dude.
Love
nice
it.
Work, Okie Doggy.
Okie Doggy, always making the unique voice requests. I love it. So, yeah, I think asking for us to look outside of our own team and the rest of the AFC West divisions, what are some improvements you've seen or some blunders?
Some of the one thing that bugged me is they're not locking into Drew Lock because I think he sucks. So I think, what do they got? Teddy Bridgewater now?
Bridgewater right now.
I think that's an improvement. I think that's an improvement, at least in consistency. They have a strong defense all the time. So if they have a slightly consistent offense, they're going to be more of a pain in the ass. Not an ass we can't kick, but they'll be a little bit more of a pain in the ass. So that's the one that stands out to me like, shit. I'm okay with all the stuff the Chiefs have done. It feels like they're stepping to the side or stepping back. I'm not seeing really anything that's like, oh, wow, you guys got great. Like, I'm not seeing that.
I mean, I don't know. They're prepping to pay for Patrick's
they built up
contract.
That offensive line. Yeah, so they built up that offensive line, and that was the only weak spot on their roster in the Super Bowl. Because they just could not keep anyone away.
We did do it better.
Yeah, we also did. We all know that we got better in free agency. The Broncos doubled down on defense. They're just going to try to not let anybody score. They picked up every defensive back that they possibly could.
Right.
And with Von Miller coming back and those, that defense is going to be scary. Now their quarterback, they brought in a guy that just isn't going to blow the game. They got a clock manager, which is fine if you have a great defense.
Right.
As long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't go to the Broncos are going to be a solid team that isn't that exciting to watch on offense. The Chiefs are good. They're the best team in the NFL, I think, still. That we have to prove that we're better than them. They didn't get worse. They definitely got better with that offensive line improvement. And they didn't lose anybody. That's the biggest thing. The Chiefs just never lose anybody. They all stick around, except for what's the running back that's all making a big fuss now?
He's hating on them as he walks out.
God, get out of here. That's because you didn't play because you suck.
He said, I'd rather retire than be a Chief again. Yeah. I love Le'Veon Bell. I love that man.
Sign him up, Chargers.
Right.
Sign him up. I just like his energy against the Chiefs. Just suit him up for Chief games. He'll go out of his mind.
Yeah, I think if anything, you could say that at least the Raiders
The Raiders did.
They're still the Raiders, dude.
They had like offensive linemen walk because they don't want to be on the team anymore. Like that was insane.
So did you guys hear that Tom Brady comment? Remember they did this HBO documentary, and he said something about like at the end of his free agency last year, some of the teams pulled out, and he was like, "You guys are gonna stick with this mother effer."
Oh,
and now everyone's coming out
Tyrod
saying
Taylor.
that he was talking. No, he was talking about Derek Carr and the Raiders
Oh.
because the Raiders pulled out and weren't talking to him anymore.
Oh my God.
They said Tom Brady's like, "You're gonna stick with Derek Carr? All right, good luck."
I mean, dude, it wouldn't be the first weird move that the Raiders go with as far as decision making. I mean, who the guy was it? Darisaw that they drafted?
Can you
in the first
imagine
round?
Can you imagine Chucky and
Leatherwood.
Tom
Leatherwood.
Brady?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? That would be. There's no way that would ever work.
No, never.
They would kill each
Never.
other.
Basically, Arians is letting him be
hilarious.
the head. Arians is letting him be the head coach over there. He's like recruiting his own guys to come in. He's letting him do whatever he wants, and that's why they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So the Raiders are still the Raiders. Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and the Broncos will be solid
Broncos got better.
contenders. Yeah,
Broncos are going to get better. Yeah,
they're annoying.
They're annoying, but they're going to be no match for Justin Herbert.
Prepare to die.
Herbert will pick them apart as it is. But thank you, Okie Doggy. Always good to hear
Have
from
fun
you.
storming the castle.
We move on now to Coach Lago, who asked the question. 60% of the time, it works every time. Let's go make this kitty purr. Is exactly what Lynn must have told himself every week, planning runs on every first and second down. Coach, can you break down how this new tailored system will be more effective and why Eck and company will be more efficient? Also, does Huggins still love Keenan after he let his man crush Herb's hit his mug in the epic video from this week?
Well, if you're going to address me like that, I 100%, I love him even more. They're having fun.
They were
like he
laughing
did face
at
plant,
the end
and
of
that was
that. Yeah.
kind of funny.
It was
and
hilarious.
then he went on social media afterwards and said it's because he was farting. That's basically what Justin Herbert said.
That's why they put the music on there.
Keenan
Otherwise,
said.
you'd hear Herbert farting the whole time.
And then Keenan going flying out of the side. Like I just like that's so fun. It was so cool to see them
Justin
bonding
didn't
like
even
that.
move his hands from behind his back. Just
He
ate
had
it.
trust, full
He
trust
just
in
watched him,
his had full trust in his guy, and that happened.
But the first question, as far as planning runs on every first and second down, not doing that, or at least not hoping that that's what we're going into this next season. Right. Do you expect, what do you expect for Eckler and company?
Yeah, it's just you're less predictable. They don't know exactly when to do what, right? The defense can't, it's first down, let's go put all of our heavy guys in. We'll have 4 linebackers, 4 linemen, and we know they're going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have matchups, that's what the NFL is all about, is getting the right matchup. So that's hopefully what our offense is built around, is creating mismatches.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where everyone will do better, when you have the advantage when it comes to matchups. And that's the whole goal. So when you can get things and make adjustments at the line, and our offense is just a little bit more unpredictable, it makes it very difficult to plan for defensively. So it should benefit everyone.
More wrinkles is what it sounds like. So I like it. Very good. Thank you, Coach Lago. We move on now to Daniel Llewellyn, who asked the question. Okay. So, like, who is going to have better involvement in the offense by season end? Jalen Guyton or T. Billy? I personally think T. Billy runs a better route tree and has better hands. Your thoughts are, like, totally appreciated. Okay, love you, bye.
I'm on the same page with you, man. I think T. Billy is a bit better, and it's going to be interesting because they're kind of competing for that same spot now that we brought in Palmer.
Right.
So I'm really interested in what this wide receiver room is going to look like. I think it's all going to come down to who's meshing the best with Justin, like what's happening there, because I think they're all kind of on the level. But whoever's working better within this new system and was able to pick it up fast enough is going to have the better season moving forward.
Right.
I think that T. Billy has an upside that we haven't seen yet. We've seen him the deep ball. We've seen him run downfield and catch the long ball. but I think he can be utilized in ways with catching little swing passes out in the flat and allowing his speed to be seen in open field. It's kind of like what Craig had talked about leading up to the draft, wanting that like dynamic, almost like the cheetah on the Chiefs. Like you want a guy that you can just get the ball to and let him go make moves.
Mhm.
I think T-Billy could be that. Guyton's got that little bit of a longer stride, less explosive, more top end speed, which we absolutely need as well. But I think with Mike out there and with now Palmer kind of doing a very similar thing, I think T-Billy has potential to be utilized in different ways this coming season.
Yeah, T-Billy also felt a little bit more trustworthy. I mean, I thought Guyton did a great job. I mean, he's definitely all over the highlight reel for Justin Herbert, but like there were a few dropped passes that, had he caught them, would have given Herbert that extra rookie record of yardage. I think was the one that he didn't make. So it was like, Guyton, I love you, but man, you should have caught a couple of those passes, buddy.
But wide receiver will be a fun position group to watch here.
Really fun position.
Offseason, yeah.
Big time. Awesome. Thank you, Daniel, for asking the question. We move on now to Kevin Kernick. Good old Kevin, who asked the question. You guys know we're going to see crap tons of option routes from Eckler, right? Okay. Thanks. That's all he wanted to say, and he wanted a Stephen
guy
Wright
on the couch from
impersonation.
Half Baked.
Yeah. So there you go.
Rolls back over on couch.
Yeah, he wrote stage directions and everything. So
I love it. Rolls over on couch and yawns.
So yeah, dude, Eckler's gonna explode. I think this season.
Yeah, you clearly have a comparison of what the running backs did in New Orleans and what they're capable over there with like Kamara and what he been like the biggest fantasy running back in the league for a couple of years now. So I think you can expect that kind of, you could expect that from him. I think that's exciting, and he's fully capable of doing that.
Right.
Well, Eck exploded in whatever offense he was in. What we ran here, what we ran the last few years, he did he was incredible until he got hurt. So yeah, the idea of him running these option routes, absolutely, yeah, he's going to be doing a lot of that.
I think with the improvements that we've made, I think especially with the line, I think that's what's going to open it up and make it even more explosive for him, as having those opportunities either both in running and in the route running.
And I agree with you. I think there's going to be an element of like Herbert. They're really going to have at some point have to really start putting a lot of DBs out there to shut him down, and then that's just going to open up the check downs for Eckler just to go crazy, go absolutely crazy.
And knowing what we know from the comment last episode, as far as Herbert not ever really throwing a pass to Keenan Allen, who knows how many passes he threw to Austin Eckler prior to the season. So now he's got that whole offseason to build a relationship with Eckler as well, and get those type of route passes down in this offseason. So,
well, that's the other thing about this idea of an option route. You have to be on the same page as your quarterback. You have to see the same thing.
Yeah.
When he makes because in an option route, you have multiple goes.
Right.
You're not just, you're running this route and then I'm going to throw it to you. It's whatever we're going to line up on the line, and whatever they show you, you got to pick the right option, and I have to anticipate you picking that option. We got to hook up. So yeah, more time together, these option routes get more dynamic and get more effective for sure.
Big time. So excellent. Thank you, Kevin, for making the question. We move on now to 33 Cheese Balls. Love it. Who asked the question? Why do you guys think the Chargers haven't hired a kickers coach? It seems strange that teams have coaches that are specialized for each position except for kicker and punter. I believe that there are only 3 teams in the NFL that have a kickers coach: the Buccaneers, Ravens, and Broncos, all of whom had decent to very good seasons in terms of their kickers. Justin Tucker, the NFL's all-time most accurate kicker, said that Randy Brown, the Ravens kickers coach, changed the type of kicker he was, and that he owes a lot of success to him. Just wanted to get your thoughts.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
know that at all. That's a fascinating thing. You bring up 33 cheese balls. I appreciate
so
that.
So we just hire these kickers and say, hey, go get them.
Good luck.
Good
luck. Get them, champ. Smack on the ass as they run out to practice. Go hang out over there by yourself and kick it through the sticks. You just go kick that through the sticks for a little while.
And get me a water while you're over there.
That's interesting that he even has this specific note on Justin Tucker and that he had a kicking coach that really just worked with him. So how much of that is like really refining that, and how much is it like a psychologist that is like making sure they're not getting down on themselves? You know what I mean?
That's a part of it, man. That's part of coaching. And to have a specific guy that's going to be there for you instead of just the special team corner that's going to be like, hey, you suck, you're out. You know, like having somebody has your back. That's big. So I don't know. That's cool. That's crazy. I didn't know 3 teams have a kicking coach. That seems like a bit of an oversight from the NFL.
I mean,
let's get Carney in here. Why? Right? Let's bring. If we're going throwback on the jerseys, all our stuff next year. Let's bring in Carney. I love that guy.
And Darren Bennett come coach the punters. Hell yeah!
Yeah, there you go. Darren Bennett, Australian rules. Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Awesome. Well, thank you, 33 Cheese Balls, for bringing that to our attention. We appreciate it.
Good work, brother.
Yeah, dropping knowledge, Cheese Balls.
Yeah, I love it. Give us some more
dropping knowledge,
pieces of knowledge. I love it.
I'm putting that in the hat for episode title this week.
Put it in the hat. Put
dropping
it in the hat.
Knowledge, Cheese Ball.
We move on now to Dave, aka DT Skoblar, who asked the question.
Just go.
Come on, giggle.
Giggly.
You got a friend in me. Is Parham Jr. a bust? Or is this his breakout year? You got a friend in me.
I don't think I don't have any of that. He just came from the XFL with very little offseason and did what he did. And they felt so comfortable with what he's capable of doing that they're like willing to move on from Hunter Henry. So I don't know if this is I think this could be his breakout year. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be. It's just all about how this offense utilizes him, because there's 3 dynamic tight ends on this roster right now.
Yeah.
So we'll find out where they use them. You know, it'll be really interesting to see how they plan to utilize him.
Right.
This will be a big year for him for sure. I mean, you can't say he's a bust yet. He had that one game where we threw to him remember in the end zone, we threw to him like 3 times in a row.
They had to review it and he didn't quite catch it. Yeah.
That was a bummer. But other than that, like the guy didn't do anything that was like, oh God, come on, man.
No.
I think he'll be more utilized now that Hunter's not there. You don't have that every down type of tight end. So it'll be exciting to see what he can do. There's just so many positions this year. That's like, it's just like, is he going to do it? I don't know. That'd be sweet if he does. We'll see. But if he doesn't, there's 4 other guys there that might do it too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hopefully they utilize every player to their fullest ability, which it feels like that's their goal, is to utilize every player. And he certainly made catches and touchdowns last year. So there's no reason why he can't do that again with Justin Herbert this year. But we'll see what happens. Great question, Dave. Thanks for asking it. We move on now to Bobby, aka Bozzy, who asked the question.
Is it just me, or is the offensive line majorly improved, at least on paper? I feel like it will really help the ground game gain traction and in turn give Herbo even more options, such as the play action. What do you guys think?
That's the key. It's the key is protecting Justin and get the running game going. So I think everything that they did this year we improved everywhere on our offensive line. As soon as Pouncey went down, like we had serviceable guys in there, but wasn't like a dominant offensive line by any means. If they were, they would still be here. We're bringing in a lot of amazing guys. So I have nothing but confidence in what we're going to be able to do this year, barring health. If we can stay healthy, it's going to be a really great year for this offense.
I mean, offensive line, you have a good offensive line, you have a good football team. There's no other way around it. Like that is the most underappreciated position in football. If you have a battle line, you're going to have a tough time winning football games. So everything's going to be better. Run game's better, pass game's better, play action's better, screens are better. Everything's better with a good O-line.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've spent the money. Let's hope it pays off. So
see some return on those investments.
Yeah. So excellent. Thank you, Bobby, for asking the question. We move on now to FNU VP, which I hazarded a guess last episode, and turns out it's Funky Nice Unis. So there you go. Funky Nice Unis VP, who asked the question.
Oh, this is not the toilet. Now, I don't want to start a war amongst those brothers. But Scheiße, I will if I must. Oh, that was not good for my urine. I wet myself in excitement. In the ground scope of conquering the AFC West, who must shine to be the team MVP? I will be the boldest one and say Derwin James must show off a defense player of the year type season over an MVP Herbert here. Because as we know, defense wins championships. So elite that Herbert's stats will be lesser because he will have a shorter field to operate from. Now, excuse me while I empty myself on this podium.
Please describe what he asked for. You need to. This needs to be mentioned. This is a good one.
Funky Nice Unis wanted a German man who is holding his bladder for far too long and is uncomfortable.
Not only German, but you got to take a piss.
Right.
I can't fully disagree with you. Like, if the defense is amazing, we're going to have a great team. But if Herbert's amazing, we're going to score a shit ton of points. So I'm going to lean into my offensive side of this. And I think Herbert, if he has an MVP
of course
season,
you are.
We're going to the fucking Super Bowl.
Shocking. Holy crap. Breaking news. Kevin's in love with Justin Herbert.
This just in, Tim? Yes? Yes, he's in love with him still.
He's
Yes,
in love with
that's
him.
it.
Let's go to Kevin in the field. Kevin, are you still in love with Justin Herbert? Big hearts.
Yeah, I think anybody that you put, in my opinion, the people that would be the most effective are the no names that have a breakout gigantic year. Because you if Derwin stays healthy, you know what you're going to get out of him. Like, he's going to have those big time numbers. He's going to be in the talks for Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. Herbert's the same way. If he has the year that you expect, for me, it's the guys to win the AFC West. It has to be an unknown, a guy that had like these guys that we keep talking about, the Parhams, these kind of names that are like, are they going to break out? Are they not? Are they going to have that gigantic year? The Kenneth Murrays, the Uchenna Nwosus, yeah, the Josh Palmers, these guys that we don't know what to expect, and they just blow, or the Mike Williams that has a really big need for a big year. If these guys blow up, that's how we win the AFC West. Like, you know what you're going to get from Derwin. For the most part, you know what you're going to get from Justin now. That's those role players having huge years that really take us to that next level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the list right now, and the last defensive player to win MVP was Lawrence Taylor back in 1986. Ever since then, it's been QBs and running backs. So, so I think you would have to expect that the trend will continue. That if there is going to be an MVP on this team, it's probably going to be Justin Herbert. But Derwin James has always got that clout behind him, and boy, if anybody can make it happen, it seems like Derwin probably could. Maybe even Bosa. I mean, those are three guys that will probably at least contend for MVP. But I think if anybody's going to win it, chances are, if you're a betting man, it's probably going to be Justin Herbert.
If Bosa becomes a sack monster and gets some ungodly amount because he's in this perfect system now that's freeing him up, like, that's just going to be insane. Like, you're not going to have enough time to throw towards Derwin James because he's going to be on the ground.
Right.
So
because of the sack monster.
Because he's the sack monster.
I am the sack monster.
Craig,
give me your sack.
Craig, be careful on your next trip to the forest.
Yeah, you might run into the
sack monster. Just Joey Bosa standing out there in his jersey.
I'm gonna sack you.
Prevent defense bad.
Oh God.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you, Funky Nice Unis. We wrap up this Ask Bolt Fam with Supercharger, who asked the question. Does Coach D have a better understanding of assumptions now? Why so much hate for the Poway Titans? Did you go to RB or aren't you guys bolt up?
Why the hate for the Poway Titans?
I was thrown off
We
by
all
the
went
hate.
to RB, asshat.
I
What do
know.
you mean?
We did all
No, I
go to
know.
RB.
We're on the same page, but you had like a vigor. You were like spitting
I know.
fire when you
Yeah,
started
you
talking
were-
about the Poway
I
Titans.
played into it. Yeah, I played into it.
When you coached against them, I was done in there, and I was done in San Diego in 2002. So I was gone. I haven't talked about Poway in almost 20 years. So.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's just decent. I mean, we all went to Rancho Mirado. We all graduated from there. So anyone that goes to RB, you just don't like Poway. That's the big rivalry. So I was just playing into it.
Well, and we got a brother-in-law that went there, and we give him shit all the time. So it's nothing special.
It's just it's still on the tip. You know, on the tip of my tongue. I got giving shit to Poway Titans.
Yeah, it's like,
but it's
yeah. Kevin and I have moved far away from San Diego and the Poway area, so the word Poway never even crosses our mind. I'm sure Kyle at least sees it on a semi-regular basis.
And no offense if you played Poway Pop Warner, but like the parents from Poway Pop Warner were always so obnoxious.
Good
and like, just so annoying.
It is what it is. Yeah, I don't actually have like ill will towards Poway. It's just there's something in me that when I hear the word Poway, I have to react.
You turn into the sack monster. Poway, bad.
And then I remember I'm 30 years old and I'm like, I don't care about Poway.
It's so good.
So, well, all right. Well, there you go, Supercharger. Thanks for asking the question, and thank you all for asking your questions for this week's episode. We've got a great episode coming up on Friday, a stellar interview with Sean Lights Out Merriman. And again, don't forget to check out chargerchat.com. We're going to have merchandise there very soon. So Toot sweet. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. But that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Folks, don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye. And now, a word from our sponsors. This fall, you won't hear it. You won't see it coming.
Not today, buddy.
Until it's too late.
Ah! Get the fuck off me! Let's go!
Sack Monster starts everywhere September 19th.